Hey guys, how's it going? It's Taylor here from AfrofishOG, and after a very long weekend, I'm finally back to bring you the Stellar Blade demo and my thoughts on this game, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a lot of them. For those who don't know, Stellar Blade is a game that is coming out April 26th, I believe, and that is for the PlayStation 5. It is like an action Souls kind of game-ish. It's really hard to kind of talk about because it's really kind of a mixture of a lot of things. It was developed by a company called Shift Up and it published by Sony itself. The game is, honestly, it is a good time, and we'll get into it all here. But right beforehand, if you want to, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that other stuff. I will highly appreciate it, and it helps get my videos out. Now, with all that being said, let's jump right into this video. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the big controversy that was going on with this, and that is the design of the character. The main character, Eve, a lot of people were not happy with for various reasons I'm not gonna fully get into, but it was mainly just the design of the character. She's a very attractive woman, and some people just don't like it. And you know, they were talking about the fact that she was too sexualized, and if that's your opinion on it, that's your opinion. Personally, that stuff never really bothered me. One of my favorite characters is Bayonetta. Is she a character that you could say is super hypersexualized? Sure, whatever, but there's a lot more to her than that. So given the fact of characters like that, you know what? It really doesn't care. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care. I don't look at it like this massive, big, oh my god kind of thing. And personally, it's how they wanted to design the character. There's really nothing I can say or do about it, so it is what it is. That also kind of brings me into the presentation of this, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't 100% thrilled with it. When I'm watching the cutscenes especially, I just get a feeling that this game was never fully meant to be on a PS5. It kind of has this feeling like it was supposed to be on the PS4, and I could be wrong about that, but that's just how I felt when I watched it. Graphically, it looks pretty good, but nothing that is really wow factor for a PS5 quality game, in my opinion. It definitely felt like if it was dropped on a PS4, it probably wouldn't feel too different. So like, I don't know, in terms of graphically, for the most part, that's how I felt about it. Now, when you get into certain boss fights and stuff, yeah, that's when the more detailed graphics definitely show, but this definitely has a feel of an older game, kind of wrapped in that in-between period of like a 4 and 5. But don't let that distract you for the fact that this game still at times does look pretty good. I mean, I like the designs of like the monsters. A lot of the monsters have a very horror-like design of it, from the little critters to like these weird Hydra-looking starfish ones that actually can turn invisible. That kind of stuff I think looks really good. And I do really enjoy the fact of how that looks. Like, I love that kind of horror looking when it comes to a monster, especially in the midst of like the ending boss fight, when you're fighting this creature and it has these two swords and lightning's raining down on it, but it's like its mouth is, I don't know if his mouth or face or what, is kind of ripped open. It's dark, it's very creepy looking. Even Eve herself does look good. I mean, facial things is something I wanted to bring up, because I know Eve is a robot, but I don't really always get this feeling that the facial recognition was that well done, in my opinion. I kind of wish a little more expression from Eve at times, but I do understand she's an android, so it's kind of back and forth. It really depends on how you feel about it. Overall, the graphics and presentation is pretty good, and I would say there's nothing that bad about it. The audio and sound of this game is good too. I honestly really like the music. The music gives me a fear of something like Nier Automata, but like a more futuristic version of it. With the soundtrack, I actually enjoy that a lot. Now, I am not a huge sound guy. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not a huge sound guy. I don't understand the ins and outs. I just know what sounds good in my head. So to me, I like the soundtrack for it. The battle music was good. It got me in the mood for it, and it was actually really, really fun. Gameplay is also something that I really wanted to take some time on, because this is I don't know how to feel about the gameplay. At some points I'm very up with it, and some points I'm really not. Now, this game does have a lot of ticks when it comes to like Souls-like games. You have the ability to parry and to dodge. Your square is your light attacks, and then you have your heavy attacks with triangle. When you dodge out of the way, if you perfectly dodge it, your character turns red for a little bit and then gets what is called beta energy that is used to use special attacks. And when you perfect parry, you'll also gain beta energy in order to gain bonus attacks. There are so many things that are Souls-like in terms of just the combat, as you can see in some of the video that I have set up. All this video is done by me. In terms of also, you have these little save points, which are basically like bonfires. I mean, they're just not bonfires, you know? We're kind of at that point where we just have these little save stations, and not saying that's necessarily bad, and this game is definitely more forgiving than Souls, but the Souls aspects are very much there. This game also kind of wants to be faster paced too, like a Nier Automata or a Bayonetta at times, and that kind of clashes in certain moments for me. Like when I have all the enemies, if it's a one-on-one enemy fight or a 1v2 enemy fight, that's not as bad. But when there's multiple enemies, like multiple enemies that you'll have in this game, well, lo and behold, that Dark Souls kind of energy to me doesn't work as well. I'm not saying that it's all bad, but definitely those little moments kind of bothered me. Also, even with the combat of Stellar Blade, I think it's good. I just feel like there's moments, like in terms of like your dodge mechanic, that it didn't feel like even if I dodged, it didn't really matter. So I'm like, is this game want to be Souls or does it want to be something else? You know what I mean? For some reason for me, the game felt like it wants to be a bunch of different things, but it doesn't stick a true identity of its own. It wants to be Souls-like, but it also wants to be fast-paced, like a fast-paced Dark Souls, which doesn't fully work. Even a bit of Sekiro in there too. So now boss fights is when this game really does have that Souls feel with it. You're parrying, you're dodging a lot, and sometimes, I'm not gonna lie when I say that, there's moments where the game didn't feel like it always registered, especially with my dodges, but that could also be just me as well. It could be a skill issue, and that did bother me from time to time. Now, there are moments where the enemy will glow yellow. If they glow yellow, it's like an unblockable attack. If they glow blue, they're about to grab and go into like some sort of grab attack, which, you know, you'll get certain abilities that'll actually let you counter those, and I did appreciate that. I just wish they would have put those in the actual demo right away. By the time I get about halfway through the game, then I get that ability, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just a nitpick. Overall, I still had a lot of fun with this demo. If I wanted to rate it off just based off the demo alone, I will give it about like an 8 out of 10 right now, but I'm really excited to see what the full game has to offer. Alright everyone, let me know, have you played the Stellar Blade demo? Have you not played the Stellar Blade demo? Are you planning on picking this game up? Are you not? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. As always, and as I always say, I'm Taylor from AfrofishOG, and I will catch you all in the next one.